Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. From pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Music Podcast. Today is Tuesday, November 28th, and we here at the Podcast Network are still recovering from our tryptophan hangovers. So we are doing a replay of one of our earlier episodes, one of our earliest episodes actually, episode number 2. You might remember our hosts, Jordan and Keith. Well, we are going to replay their episode where they review David Bowie's Blackstar and Kendrick Lamar's Untitled album. So we will be back next week with another new episode. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this Throwback Tuesday, if you will, a replay of episode number 2.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast with your host, Jordan.
and Keith.
Yeah.
Keith and Jordan. So.
All right.
Yes.
God, I'm so glad that everyone's here. I don't know if you guys realize, but this is episode 2. And you know what? We have a little special tradition here. On episode 2, we start our intro off exactly how we just did. So everyone, if you noticed the change, I hope you enjoyed it. Episode 3, maybe even fresher. In the meantime, welcome in.
But I don't think we're from the slums of Barcelona today. I'm not sure where we're from today. It might be the slums of Portugal. I'm not sure. Just
a regular recording studio. It doesn't have to always be a big dramatic flair, Keith.
Oh, whatever, dude. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, so when you do it, it's fine. Whatever, dude.
You're going to make me say it.
So today's music review is David Bowie's last album, released so far, Blackstar, great record, and Kendrick Lamar's Untitled Unmastered. So, and there's like a correlation between the two, and we'll get to that in today's podcast. So, starting off, David Bowie released this record, Blackstar, and it's a great record. He died shortly after his 69th birthday this January, so rest in peace, Mr. Bowie. That was one of the first deaths in music to rock the world. Oof. David Bowie was a visionary and a pioneer in rock and roll music.
Maybe one of the first deaths in music this year to rock the world.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said just in general.
No, you weren't listening.
I'm so sorry. I misheard you. That's okay. Don't worry. We'll edit this out.
Yeah. What am I going to do with you, dude? Anyway. So as I was saying, dude, I'm going to hurt you.
On the ball, Keith. David Bowie, show some respect.
Yeah, so David Bowie, like I said, total visionary. He got his start basically late 60s, but he didn't hit his peak and his stride into the 70s with Space Odyssey and fashion and fame. So David Bowie was one of those few rock and roll artists that transcended for everyone in American culture. Everybody knew who he was. If you're like from Generation X or a baby boomer, you knew who he was. And Blackstar is a fitting farewell album. It's a great record. It's Bowie at his finest. Now, reading about Blackstar right before it came out and after it came out, he cited through his musical producer and friend Tony Visconti that he had been influenced by Kendrick Lamar when making the record. So I'm thinking, okay, well, Bowie's cool, and he would say something like that, but is it true? And then I listened to the record, and yeah, I totally see it. This record's great. First of all, the song Blackstar was the first single and first video from the record. Great song. What I like about the song, besides the sonic quality of it, it's that it's not a 3-minute and 30-second song for radio. So yeah, radio's probably not going to play this song because it's over 7 minutes long. It's 9 minutes and 57 seconds long. It's beautiful. Very old school. I love that. People get so concerned with, I have to have a song that has to be 4 minutes or shorter so the radio will play it. don't always be so concerned with that. Just make good music. Just let it ride. If it feels good, it feels good. If it feels good after 5 minutes, let it go. If it feels good after 3 minutes, that's fine too. But don't get in that mind frame that it has to be under 4 minutes. That's a pet peeve. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, lyrically speaking, it's like David Bowie with this record, he like wrote lyrics that are hip hop oriented, and I can actually hear like Kendrick Lamar writing some of these lyrics or actually rapping these lyrics, but he did it. So Bowie has these lyrics that have a hip hop feel to them, but with his rock and roll aesthetic. And I'll show you what I mean. We talk about lyrics like from Dollar Days, and let's see, The Girl Loves Me. So I'm going to have Jordan read some of the lyrics from The Girl Loves Me.
Yeah, okay. We've got Making All the Omies Mad.
Keep reading.
Thursday, Popo Blind to the Poly, and The Hole by the Friday. Where the F did Monday go? I'm cold to this pig and pug show. So
sounds like Kendrick, doesn't it?
yeah. No, I see what you mean. Like, there's definitely influence there.
Yeah,
I think that you're.
But it's still done with the Bowie aesthetic. It's brilliant.
I think you were talking about overall that you were just kind of blown away with this album, right? I mean, from track to track, you just really loved it. Right,
but I mean, are there any more lyrics for you to read from that song? No, I was making a point with that.
Okay, I'm sitting in the chestnut tree. Who the F's gonna mess with me? Girl loves me. Hey, China. Girl loves me.
Yeah, I mean, that's Bowie. But if I read that to you and not say David Bowie, you would think that was some rapper that you loved or hated. So I love that a rock and roll pioneer is open-minded, because you have other rock and roll people who have a open disdain for hip-hop, possibly because they don't understand it, they can't assimilate it, they can't emulate it. I don't know what the reasons are, so they just dismiss it. But I like that Bowie was always open-minded, and I believe that he understood that hip-hop has become the new rock and roll for America today. So
I see what you mean, and I definitely think that Bowie is someone who, you have people like you heard about the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where the Kiss was. Gene Simmons had a problem with the whole hip hop being included.
Yes, yes.
I don't think I could ever see that with Bowie, and
right.
I think that's just part of the that's part of the magic, because he is someone that you feel is like all accepting, just very wise.
Well, and when
he's a mythical creature. I think.
Well, exactly. And then when you hear this record, it has that like a progressive rock, indie rock, alternative rock feel to it. It's modern rock. This guy's almost 70 years old, still pushing the envelope. What people love about Bowie is that he pushed the envelope, that he always tried to do something different. But then I think that sometimes that worked against him, because people were so stuck on, Space Oddity, Ground Control and Major Tom, and Fashion and Fame and Low and his early albums, that by the time he did stuff like Let's Dance, some people were like, oh, that's his pop sellout record, I don't like it. No, Bowie had to challenge himself. That's what he did. He was one of those rare few rock and roll artists that got better the older he got. He got better. He aged very gracefully, very well, and that's rare for rock stars.
I think, but your overall opinion on the album, you kind of think it's what would you say? Just great, just all around. Like
it's a great record. Yeah, I mean, there's.
What's the first word that comes to mind to you whenever you think you're talking about it?
Well, I mean, it's just. I mean, it's a great bittersweet record, because it may be his last record. We're not quite sure. There might be more to come. I mean, he made this record knowing that he was dying. And
I think that shows, in my opinion. Really, what really gets me is it feels somber the entire time. It feels like melancholy, and I don't think, I'm not really sure if I feel that way, because I know Bowie's death was there, and it kind of it shook things up a little bit. But I couldn't listen to the album for the longest time, because I knew I wasn't gonna handle it well. I was gonna be emotional. I really did love Bowie, and for months I went by without hearing it, because I knew that's gonna kill me too. So when I did listen to it, exactly what I thought was going to happen. I was very upset, but I can't deny it's an amazing album. It really is. It's a masterpiece. But
I agree.
It feels very sad, because it does feel like a goodbye, and that's hard to shake off.
And you get that feeling when you listen to the last track, I Can't Give Everything Away.
Honestly, I also felt that on the first track, the Blackstar, as well.
Okay. Yeah.
That was something, almost, as I listened to it, it feels like a 9-minute long funeral dirge, because it's just, it's so instrumental, and it's so... It's complex and it's beautiful, but I think that's the beauty. I think if David Bowie was still alive, would just be plain beautiful, just something that's inspiring. But at this point, it's kind of sad. It's sad, but in a good way. It's the sad that you want to listen to.
Bittersweet, as I said before.
Bittersweet. There we go.
So I mean,
it's a
in
bittersweet
lyrics,
symphony.
Different group, bro. But go Dollar Days. We have some of the lyrics from that song too. That I wanted you to.
Dollar Days with Cash Girls Suffer Me. I've got no enemies. I'm walking down. It's nothing to me. It's nothing to see. If I'll ever see the English evergreens I'm running to, it's nothing to me. It's nothing to see. So.
Yeah. So I mean, hip hop again. I hear that Kendrick influence. I hear David liking rap music and wanted to infuse that with his music because he wanted to do something new, and he just made it great. And I Can't Give Everything Away. He definitely does say goodbye. But
I felt like he was saying goodbye even then. I mean, you heard the lyrics. I was just saying that was literally almost a goodbye. That song ends with I'm trying to, I'm dying to, I'm trying to. It's that's the whole entire album just reeks of this this feeling that I just can't listen to it. I really can't listen to it unless I'm very prepared. But I think that just goes to show how great Bowie is.
I agree.
But yeah, with all that said, we'll be back with this break. It's going to be a great commercial break. Just have time to just reflect on everything we said, and when we come back, we'll be doing Kendrick Lamar's Untitled.
Yes, and a little bit more about Bowie, but yes.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
Right on.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines, they got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
So just wrap Bowie up real quick. It's we both agree it's a great album. You should pick it up.
Great album, yeah.
It's it's like I said, it's bittersweet, it's sad, but it's still great. It's just good to hear him, and it's so meaningful that he wanted his fans to have something of him. In this video, Lazarus, the video starts off with him in bed with a blindfold on and he's singing. That was probably our first clue, or should have been. But yeah, it's a must-have. It's a must-have, so pick it up. If you never heard Bowie before, buy it. If you're already a Bowie fan, buy it. Either way it goes, just buy it. Definitely.
Just buy it, yeah. Good words to live by.
Yes.
Okay, guys, so our next album is going to be, of course, the Kendrick Lamar album, Untitled and Unmastered.
Yes.
Hold for applause. There we go. So I think you already think it's a good thing from the way you clapped enthusiastically, right?
It's a great album. I like it. It's
an amazing album, right?
Yeah, it's a trip. I mean, I've never seen an artist put out a record where there's no title to it. It's actually Untitled Unmastered. Huh?
All the songs were songs that have already been made before, and some of them were already heard through maybe like a live show or so. So they were literally untitled at that time. So
okay, right on.
I guess he just kind of transferred on, and I think it's cool. It's great that. There's no flashy in the album. There's no flashy, logo, like song title. It's all just untitled. They're all at equal grounds, and they're all amazing. I couldn't tell you what my favorite song is if we were talking by a water cooler, because I'd have to say, oh, it's the one that goes a little bit like the da-da-da-da-da, like I have to sound like a grandpa for it. I can't say I love Untitled 3 almost as much as I love Untitled 7.
You can't go like, oh, track 2 is my jam. And, and track 3, oh my God.
It sounds like you're talking about a mixtape somebody made you in the 80s.
I know.
So.
I mean, he's kind of put us in that kind of corner in that regard.
Oh no, go on. I was just about to compliment him again, but then again, I really loved this album. I mean, I had no complaints from track Untitled 1 all the way to Untitled 8. It was like quality in every track.
Yeah, it flows smoothly. It has a very organic feel, and it seems like you said that some of it was recorded live from different TV appearances.
Yeah, and
some of it seems to be recorded during the To Pimp a Butterfly sessions. So it has that same organic quality to the production. That like he had a nice bomb, just a great band, just doing it, in the studio, giving you that bomb funk feel to the record. So like track 1 is like I feel like it's his Barry White impersonation while he's, having relations with the young lady. And then it goes, like there's a track where I call it Get Guy on the Phone. I think that's track 2.
It's track 2.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't blame you for not doing that right off the back. I'm not going to hold you that on this podcast.
Yeah, I like that track too. That track seems to be about the self-indulgence of mankind and the foolishness that we have, and let's get God on the phone because I see all this craziness going on. Maybe it's time for you to come down and set everything straight. I get that vibe from that song.
Yeah.
And it's just that, so I like that. And then track 3 seems to be like I think that might be your favorite song.
I think that's one of my favorites, yeah.
I call it What Did the Man Say? So we have to name the record for ourselves. Maybe that was the whole point of it. I don't know.
We're going to submit these names to Kendrick and seeing if the second edition of this album comes out.
Exactly. But yeah, so what did you want to say about that track?
I think I loved it. I think that first off, let me say something about Kendrick Lamar. I think that all of his songs have a very deep meaning and they have a very thought-provoking feeling to them.
Okay.
I think even whenever he tackles things like living in Compton, it's not just your regular, look how bad I was, look how, the crazy stuff. I mean, of course he goes through the crazy times, but it felt honest. It felt very honest, and it felt real. And it wasn't just about him being the king. It's about him being vulnerable. It's about him not knowing what to do. And I think that this honesty that he brings into every song really it's what makes Kendrick Lamar Kendrick Lamar, It's what really kind of makes him stand out, I think, one of the many reasons. So what I liked about What Did the Man Say was the fact that, I mean, he's kind of approaching kind of the theology, the kind of belief, the kind of the workarounds with every, race that he goes to. What did the Indians say? What did the black man say?
What did the Asian man say? What did the white man say? Yeah, it's a brilliant song in that capacity because there's no song really like that where he's trying to give you all those different perspectives.
No, and it didn't.
Speaking,
it didn't. There was no hate to it. I mean, no, you're talking about like you're talking about all these different races. You're talking about their ideology. Just their kind of their culture, their cultural belief.
Yeah.
And he does a good job of conveying it without hate. It puts an interesting spin. It really does.
I agree with you. And after listening to you talk just now, it just occurred to me that one of his great strengths as an MC, Kendrick seems to know how to master self-reflection and social commentary seamlessly intertwined.
Definitely. He definitely does.
He does a perfect job of that. So, you always say to me that you think he's a legend in the making. And I agree with you. I agree with you. I do think he's a legend in the making. But he's got to keep on going. At the rate he's going, at this point, he will get there. Because, to me, today's MCs, at least MCs who are commercially speaking in hip-hop, would be it's Kendrick, it's Drake, it's J. Cole. You could throw in Big Sean, and I would say Odyssey. To me, but Odyssey's not really commercial yet. But those are MCs worth listening to when it comes to rap music. The four of those people are on the radio for the most part. Odyssey is not, but that's another conversation. But yeah, that's the vanguard for rap music, commercially speaking. And Kendrick is commercially successful, but his music still has that underground credibility to it.
Yeah.
And independent credibility. So he's still with Top Dog, and he's with Aftermath Records, which is Dr. Dre's label. So Compton's firstborn son next to the game. You know, it's like NWA, The Game, and Kendrick Lamar. It's all the same family tree, Compton-wise.
And you have a lot of people that sing about Compton. You have a lot of people that rap about, you know, just kind of having a hard time growing up, you know?
Well, I don't think you have a lot of people singing about Compton.
Not a lot of people singing about Compton, but you know what I'm talking about. The list is bigger than Kendrick. And
what do you mean?
The list of people that rap about Compton is bigger than Kendrick.
No.
You think that's a very small, selected group?
No, not today. You had Compton's Most Wanted 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe MC8, but no. I mean, when people think of Compton and hip hop, they think of NWA, The Game, and Kendrick.
And that's true. And I'm not saying that the club's so big that, you know, we've got over 1,000 members now, but I'm saying he's not the first person to do it. But I am saying.
But that wasn't the point.
Come on, let me finish, Keith. You know.
Go ahead, man.
There you go.
What are you saying?
I think that he does it differently. I think that he puts a different spin on it. I think that it's not just about living in the hard times. It's him living in those times. You know, it's not talking about just how bad things are going where you're growing up. Whether it's Compton or anywhere, everyone's got that. You know, things were hard growing up.
All right.
But he does kind of use that self-reflection on it, you know?
Yes, he does. I agree. He has another track 6, I call it Can't Explain. And I believe it's featuring CeeLo. It sounds like CeeLo. And that's a nice track. It's like Kendrick is trying to woo this girl, and he likes her a lot. And he knows he's strange, and he knows he's done some crazy things. So he's like, you know, you can like me too. I'm a little crazy, but I'm still good for you. I can explain. I like that track, and I like CeeLo singing the hook on that. So yeah, it's a cool record. And then Blueface is just the last track is so funky. Track 8. It's just really it's nice. I think Blueface is symbolic for having the blues. It seems like the thing to it is that people want money, especially new money, but they don't want to work for it. So they're walking around with blue faces trying to get to easy street without working hard for it. So that's what I get from that track. But, yeah.
I know what you mean, and I agree with you. I think that it's good. It speaks miles, but I really, you can say that with any Kendrick album. He's just continuing to build a legacy. I said
agree.
that at the beginning. I'm going to keep saying it.
No, yeah, I think you're right. So we definitely buy that record too. It's a great album to have. I think a lot of people didn't know about it or forgot about it because it didn't have a big release. So, but yeah, it's Untitled Unmastered, Kendrick Lamar, worth picking up. Check it out, and we will be back right after this break.
And when we come back, we're going to go ahead and just, sum up. We're going to talk about the 2 albums, what it means, and what you guys should do next.
All right.
See you soon.
Are you looking for help for your fantasy football team? Check out the GSMC Fantasy Football Podcast. Get today's best advice on who to start, who to sit, even who you should draft. From sleeper picks to red-hot lineups, they got it all covered for you. That's gsmcpodcast.com/fantasy-football-podcast. We'll cover traditional leagues, dynasty, PPR, even IDP leagues. When you need fantasy help, there's just one show to hit up. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
How was that? Was that nice? I thought so too.
Yes.
Great commercial.
Yeah, sure was. But yeah, what's going on?
We're all right, so we're back and we're here. We're going to wrap up. We're going to talk about Bowie. We're going to talk about Kendrick, and really, what it kind of did. We're gonna do the sum up. We're going to do the fun sum up. This is the best segment in the show.
Okay? It is all right.
Yeah, all right. It is.
Okay.
Do you disagree, Keith?
No, I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I'm just listening to you telling you about how much fun we're going to have. So
we're going to have a lot
waiting
of
for
fun.
that fun to happen. But okay.
half of the part of having fun is the build up.
The momentum.
The momentum. That's what really does it.
Yeah. So 2 great albums to pick up. Definitely one's rock and roll, one is hip hop, but there's a connection. I believe that hip hop is the new rock and roll in America, and like I said, Bowie talking about being influenced by Kendrick. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. But when I listened to the record, I looked at the lyrics, it was true. It's all there in the making. And Kendrick, also cited Bowie as an influence and was flattered that Bowie liked his music. And like I said, it's just great. Both people giving you something worth listening to in different genres, and it's nice and it's refreshing because today with the music industry, so much stuff comes out and people get bombarded. So many records come out every week, and a lot of times, back in the day, you could listen to something once or twice and be like, "Oh, I get it, I love it." I tell people now, or I'm telling you right now, I definitely want to recommend a lot of times when you get a new record, new CD, or a new MP3 download, listen to it. If it doesn't click, come back to it. Listen to something 3 or 4 times and then make a decision, because it could be that second or third time where you're like, "Oh, it clicked." I have to do that.
Yeah, I think most people have to do that. Not everybody.
I don't know if they're doing it, but I think they should. Huh?
But if I'm going to sum up for what I think about Bowie, I'm someone who very passionate. I love Bowie. I really do. I love David Bowie. I loved who he is. I think that I'm one of those people that I got shaped up thanks to him. Cool. Whether it be from his music or even just his movie Labyrinth, which
I knew you were going to say that. I think it's great that some people know him from the movie first. I think that's awesome, and it's such a great testament to
I don't
art.
know about first, but I think that's definitely
I don't make an assumption, excuse me.
Yeah, no, for me, though, of course, there's maybe that one person, but I think Bowie is, maybe you didn't know, maybe you heard about David Bowie himself through the movie first, but I'm sure you've heard his music before that. And maybe you're kind of registering those two together. But as someone that was really passionate about David Bowie, and really crazy about him, one day we're going to have to do an episode dedicated to it.
Oh, I'm down with that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm definitely down.
I think if you're ready, I listened to both of them, listened to it several times to get into it. For me, Bowie's Blackstar album, it's something to listen to whenever I'm a bit upset, and I want to embrace it. I want to just be upset. And I think it's a good thing. It's a great thing.
You don't have to. Okay.
And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm complimenting it. It's because I really liked Bowie, and because I can't help but feel that towards the album.
Okay. I don't.
It's a beautiful record. It really is.
Right. So.
But it's not something. If you really did love Bowie, I'm on the boat that it's hard to listen to it because you loved him, and this is a goodbye. And Goodbye is definitely in the tracks of this album.
Okay. I can respect that. I don't
Goodbyes
feel like
are hard.
Oh yeah, I don't feel like it's hard to listen to. I like listening to it. Is there some sadness because he's saying goodbye? Yes, there is. But once you get past that, you're just reminded of why you like him so much and why he's so important to the culture of music and rock and roll, but just the music in general, because we need to have transcendent musical artists, and he's one of them. So the question will be, will there be a new Bowie years to come, or someone who can be in that field who transcends it all when it comes to the music? Because like I said, David Bowie to me was one of those few artists, whether you were black or white, from baby boomers to Generation X, you knew who he was. I think my first memory of him was like the song Fame and then Fashion. I knew about him, but he didn't click for me till I heard Let's Dance.
Yeah.
I bought that record, and then I went back and backtracked all of his albums because of that. So, he will be missed, rest in peace, and we will, when we get a chance, try to do a tribute to him because he's worthy of one. And getting back to Kendrick Lamar, great MC, great new school rapper. He's amazing. For those of you who don't have it, Section 80, that's like his first full-length record, I believe. And that's a really good album, too. That came out before Good Kid, Mad City, before he got his deal with Aftermath Records. Kendrick likes to do concept records, which is nice to see, because there's only like a few rappers who actually follow that script. And he's one of them.
Even less to actually pull that off, really, as well as Kendrick does. As far as the Kendrick album, in the mood to listen to that, I can listen to that in a lot of different moods.
It's a feel-good record. Yeah.
But it is a feel-good record, but also it's thought-provoking, and I think a lot of his albums can be something that you can turn off your brain and just listen to, or really pay attention and just have some kind of amazing revelation about,
like the best of both worlds.
What you should do in your life, or what you should eat dinner that night.
All right.
It really is one of those things. I think that's what makes Kendrick amazing. You could say the same thing about To Pimp a Butterfly. Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80.
Yeah. Yes.
You can listen to it in a way that you can just have it as background music, or it can be in the forefront of your mind.
Right.
And either way, you're going to really enjoy it.
I agree. Now, mind you, it's not typical hip-hop production, whatever that means, whether it's trap sounding, boom bap, or whatever. It's organic in the sense that you can tell he's got a studio musicians in the studio with him, and they're having fun. They're laying the funk. They're laying the bass. They're just doing it. Nice funky organ. It's got a real cool feel to it. Seems like he definitely put a lot into doing this album that way, and it shows, and it's good. And I think even for some of those naysayers who don't like this record or didn't like To Pimp a Butterfly because they thought it wasn't hip-hop enough, whatever that means, I think...
Who says that?
Dude, I got a friend who's like that, but I'm not going to even...
Don't like
I'll tell you about that later, bro.
Hate him.
No, that's my boy, but he...
He's not mine.
Yeah, he's it's gonna take him some time. I have to be patient with him. But like I said though too, for everybody, that happens to me. Sometimes you gotta put something down to come back to it, and then you're like a light bulb just pops on. But it's definitely a great album, and this album might be an album that is like studied and reviewed later because of how it was presented to us.
Sarah back again, hoping that you enjoyed that replay of episode 2, reviewing David Bowie's Blackstar and the Untitled Kendrick Lamar album. Not quite so sure what happened with that ending, but hey, we'll just, wonder away with Jordan and Keith. Not sure what they were doing there with that abrupt ending, but... I will be back next week with a brand new episode, so please join me then. In the meantime, you can find all of our podcasts at www.gsmcpodcast.com. You can download those podcasts on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, any app that you use for your mobile device, and you can follow us on social media. Join me again next week. In the meantime, have a wonderfully musical week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.